So this may sound like a really weird topic for a video, especially from someone who has built his entire channel on comic books and comic book movies. And I'd be lying if I said these movies weren't some of my all-time favorites, and I'm certainly not alone on this either. Superhero movies are definitely the most popular trend in film today. The fan bases for these movies are insane, and the amount of money that they make is pretty mind-blowing. To be honest, it's kind of awesome, but I can't help but think that we're being oversaturated with superhero movies. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing to see some of my characters that I love so much being brought to life, and some of these movies are arguably some of the best movies ever to be brought to film. But what about the superhero movies that, aren't great? Those movies that, to be honest, you're never going to watch again, even if it's on TV and there's nothing else on. And I'm not saying that mediocre superhero films are a plague on the film industry. There's nothing wrong with a movie just being okay. As long as you don't walk away feeling like you wasted 2 hours of your life, there's really no harm done. The focus of this video is on the shitty superhero movies, and the unnecessary and stupid reasons those movies sucked. Also, the funny thing is, some of these are actually becoming a trend in the superhero genre. Ever since the success of the Avengers back in 2012, studios have been rushing to establish their own cinematic universe. In the process, they actually end up forgetting the #1 most important thing: making a good movie. I remember being really excited for The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I also remember walking out disappointed, because I didn't get an awesome standalone Spider-Man film, I got a watered-down 2-hour trailer for the Sinister Six. Look, you don't have to jam all of these subplots into one movie just to set up your next movie. I didn't pay $9 to watch an advertisement for your next movie. I paid for a solid, well-made film with a focused narrative. Believe it or not, the best way to get me excited for the next installment is just to make a good movie the first time around. I'm gonna want to see the sequel if I enjoyed the previous film. You guys remember when Batman, at the end of Batman Begins, turned over the card and it turned out to be a Joker? Boom, you just set up the next sequel. No tedious, boring subplots, no weird, out-of-place scenes that, to be blunt, 95% of the general audience have no idea what the fuck is going on anyway. And I know the Dark Knight trilogy wasn't really concerned with setting up a cinematic universe. So here's another example. Guardians of the Galaxy introduced a new Infinity Stone and explained each one of them. Plus, it gave us another look at Thanos, who's obviously going to play a huge part in the future of the MCU. But those advancements to the MCU were all relevant to the story Guardians of the Galaxy was trying to tell. They weren't shoved in or out of place. And if you ask me, even if only one film did this, it's one film too many. Like I said, this is actually starting to become a trend in the superhero genre. The only reason Superman was killed in Batman v Superman was because Snyder wanted Batman to assemble the Justice League. And what the hell was that weird vision of the future? It was so out of place. Thor taking a bath in Age of Ultron, that was just there to set up Thor Ragnarok. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was just a trailer for the Sinister Six, and a really shitty one at that. And I also felt Iron Man 2 suffered a little because it was one of the main films that set up the Avengers. Like I said, it's becoming a trend and it's starting to get really annoying. You can still have good movies, even if they take place in these expansive universes. Deadpool is a part of a larger cinematic universe, but it was a fantastic standalone story nevertheless. And don't even get me started on the whole director and film studio having creative differences. If you can't get along, drop out of the project. I'm tired of seeing movies like Fant4stic because those involved can't grow the fuck up. Which leads me to my next point. Don't make a film if the only reason you're making it is to retain the rights to the character. If you don't have a creative direction or any half-decent ideas, just don't make the movie. Period. End of story. Although movies like The Dark Knight, Deadpool, Civil War, The Avengers, and so many more are honestly some of my all-time favorite movies, I'm not willing to overlook these huge problems that seem to be a trend in the superhero movie genre. I'm not gonna give bad movies a pass just because they're comic book movies, and I like the characters. I definitely think that things need to change, or comic book movies will honestly become the next westerns. People will eventually stop caring about them if you just keep throwing the same shit in their face. Alright guys, that is going to conclude my little rant/topic video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's definitely certainly something that you wouldn't expect from me because I really love comic book movies and my entire channel is based off of them, and I do love them and they're honestly some of my favorite movies, but I kind of needed to get a couple of things off my chest. Alright guys, thank you for checking out this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day guys. If you want to check out some of my other videos, you can go ahead and click on screen or you can click the link in the description below. Alright guys, peace.